Stop with the whining. You are not the victims here.
Well, then they are freedom fighters.
Okay.
So they are freedom
okay,
fighters.
That's enough.
Oh,
You were
okay,
doing
sure.
an ethnic cleansing. Stop with the whining. All
They
right?
were doing same
First,
thing.
No, they weren't. We've already gone over it. We
What?
see
What?
we see the death toll. Do you
Exactly,
wait?
kill
Do you
families.
understand how dishonest and partisan you are? It's pathetic. You're not strong
That is
enough to be this
true.
proud. You realize this, right? Let the Albanians in Kosovo
Yeah,
go.
after they ethnically
Let
cleansed
them
all
go.
the Serbs and
After
the
they
Kosovo,
a
wanna
decade
live in
ago,
Kosovo.
I don't care. Nobody cares. Oh my God. But we're actually debating a Serbian nationalist. This is very off the cuff.
0% of you are subscribed. Fix that.
Howdy.
All right, hello, Vaush. I want to say thank you for accepting the request for debate.
Yeah, I'm ready to defend the glory of Albanian Kosovoian thought.
Glorious Kosovo, yeah.
So hit me up. What do you got in your mind?
Well, you said that the Yugoslavia bombing was completely justified because of the genocide. KLA/Albanians did as much as ethnic cleansing before the intervention as the Serbs did. Now, both Yugoslavia and the Belarusians said that there was not massacre there, right?
Okay,
so
wait.
therefore,
Can we back up briefly?
sure, we can.
Because we're on full on like war crime denialism,
yeah.
and I think we have to get to a couple of steps before we get to the specifics on that.
Sure.
So there are a couple of things here. First of all, I think the equivocacy you're drawing between the KLA and the Serbian army is not valid. As far as I can tell, the deaths attributed to the Yugoslav forces number in excess of 10,000 people, the majority of which were Albanians. Whereas the KLA has several hundred deaths attributed to them directly, and while there were non-Albanians who were killed in the conflict, it's unclear how many were killed by the KLA. Additionally, the KLA is a militant separatist militia, whereas the crimes committed by the Yugoslav forces were done by the state. I don't think it's fair to compare that to the much lesser crimes in terms of total body count of the KLA, which was a separatist group that operated in large part because the Albanians in Yugoslavia had been subjected to so much ostracization and social pressure over the years. I just don't think this is like a fair equivocacy to draw at all. It's kind of like the difference between Israel and Hamas, right? Like, Hamas is like a militant Islamist organization, and certainly they've done bad things, but I don't think what they've done compares either in type or in quantity to the violence committed by the Israeli state, you know?
At the time you came in, there was no ethnic cleansing. You are talking about ethnic cleansing of the people, but it didn't happen. Before the intervention,
Over
there was
a
no
million-
ethnic cleansing.
Wait, this is not true.
No, this is not true.
There was a report that was a brief in the White House back in September of 1998 that Bill Clinton received, which referred to over hundreds of thousands of Albanians who had been displaced from their home by the Yugoslav army and Serbian security forces. Before our intervention, hundreds of thousands of people had already been displaced, which constitutes an ethnic cleansing if it's ethnically directed, which it certainly is in this case. We know you Serbs fucking hate the Albanians. There was absolutely significant internal conflict at the time.
No, I'm actually going to have to correct you. I'm going to have to ask for any kind of a source, for any kind of anything, suggesting that there was any major ethnic cleansing before the intervention.
The Serbian Special Police retaliated by killing 21 civilians. Among those were 9 women and 5 children. Where here is the KLA responsible for this killing?
It says, the Yugoslav army has deployed in the area for several months in a major offensive against KDA. Sure, maybe there were people killed. Sure, I can agree. Sure, but
Wait, what? Wait, it's
sure,
not a civilian.
No.
Wait,
I
it's not a
said,
civilian massacre of the. Wait, it was a civilian family. Wait, you can't just be. Well, okay, well, the massacre of the civilians was done in addition to the combat against the KLA. What? At any rate, the evidence is clear. There was already ethnic cleansing taking place before NATO got involved.
What's stopping us to saying, hey, Serbian sentiment towards Albanians come from centuries and the centuries of persecution of the
then
Serbs.
Split up.
But
then have two
let me
different
finish.
countries.
I will let you finish.
No, I agree. Then split up. If you agree, if you hate each other so much, then have 2 separate countries. That's what they want. Why not go with it?
Why are you still together? You hate each other.
There are only really 2 things that can be done. You either leave Kosovo in the hands of Serbians for you to all rape and kill, or you protect Kosovar independence. That latter option to me seems like the only humane one, because like what you're suggesting right now is essentially like NATO should have kept their hands off so the Serbian like police forces could have raped the rest of the Kosovo region and displaced all the Albanians, so they could have fled to the rest of Eastern Europe. You know, clearly you guys hate each other. You should be in separate countries.
Let me go back to
Well, then why not just separate? Why not be separate
But because
countries?
we cannot separate, because the reason why we cannot separate is because the only way our economies work is because the only way we manage to achieve anything is by working together.
And we can hate each other as much as we want, but we need each other.
But the problem is that they keep breaking everything. And what NATO...
This is like old school nationalism here. It's incredible to listen to.
You said that we need to separate ourselves. No, we were living just fine until they started making problems. Between 50s and the 70s, we lived just fine.
You mean when
almost
you lived
no
under
accidents.
a dictator? Wait, hold on, come on. You lived under a dictator. Tito had an iron fist. Tito united the competing ethnic groups within Yugoslavia and controlled you by ruling a police state. That's not the same as genuine cooperation. You lived under a dictator.
Your country supported Kosovo self-declaration of independence, which is against international law. So you basically are part of this institution, but you do not give absolutely anything about the international law, but at the same time using international law to justify your imperialism. This was a pure act of imperialism.
First of all, I don't use international law to justify my imperialism. I use ethnic cleansing to justify my imperialism. I don't give a fuck what the law says. Second of all, I don't care. Kosovo was obviously operating as an autonomous nation. Kosovo is not beholden to Serbian law. Serbian judicates and judges and police officers do not make decisions in Kosovo. It's a country in its own, and I think it's fair and reasonable to understand that. Hey, if you're so concerned with Serbia's economy, maybe you should recognize that your shit-ass behavior is the reason why you guys haven't been let into the EU properly. Like, you guys can't let go of all this ethnic hatred that you have, and it's really fucking over your ability to cooperate with the broader like EU. You know, that's a far better economic trading bloc than you're ever going to get with just Kosovo being a compliant region within your own country. It's just so strange to me because like everything here is so straightforward. You know, the ethnic cleansing was taking place before NATO intervention. After NATO intervention, it stopped only a few months after. Was everything resolved perfectly? No, probably not. Things rarely get resolved perfectly. But like, you still haven't given me an answer to like what the alternative was. Like, you guys just should have just fucking killed everyone in Kosovo.
Alternative is what exactly says international law. Kosovo gets autonomy. They get to rule themselves just fine. We respect their majority, and they respect our historical claim to it.
Serbia wouldn't have done that. You guys
we agreed to that, but we signed and
you
we
agreed to that because we bombed you. You invaded Kosovo because you wouldn't agree to that.
That's in our favor.
No. You can't say like the alternative would have been this agreement that we only agreed to because NATO intervened. The Serbs were not willing to accept Kosovar independence. That's why all this started. All of this started because of student protests over Kosovar independence. You don't get that. Serbia was willing to kill and to displace Albanians to prevent that from happening. So the alternative with no NATO intervention is what? Mass genocide in Kosovo?
Okay, so KLA started killing up the civilians first. So they were using the same tactic that you're accusing Serbs of, but just because it fits American imperialism, that's when you support it.
Don't care. I didn't say I support. I did not say I support the. You keep dodging the question because you know that you're taking the side of the genociders. I did not justify the KLA killing civilians. At no point in this convo have I done that. All the facts that I've laid out here speak for themselves. We have two ethnic groups that clearly can't get along. They need to be kept independent. The Serbs were so fastidiously against that independence for the Kosovars that they were willing to kill and displace. That is an undeniable fact. If NATO hadn't intervened, who knows how many Albanians you would have killed. It was good for us to intervene. I'm glad we scared you. Because, of course, at any point in time, you know perfectly well that one of the countries that constitutes NATO could liquidate Serbia. We choose not to because we don't want to cause a fuss about it. But while you're the weaker dog in the pen, you should probably learn your place and not sit time here trying to justify ethnic cleansings to me because you found a smaller dog. Like, why? Why not work on greater cooperation in the EU sphere? Why waste your time hating people who are just trying to find a nation where they can be kept safe? You guys tried to push them out of Kosovo. More than 1 million displaced out of a province with 2 million people. Ridiculous.
Okay. The only thing you cared about establishing a large military base, destruction of socialist economic system in Yugoslavia, and making sure that there is absolutely no Russian influence there.
Okay, wait,
if you actually think, please,
okay,
if you
okay.
actually think you stood side by side with the people that committed war crimes, but just because it goes in your favor, well, then they are freedom fighters.
Okay.
So they are freedom
Okay,
fighters.
that's enough.
Okay.
You were
Okay,
doing
sure.
an ethnic cleansing. Stop with the whining. All
They
right?
were doing same
First, no,
thing.
no, they weren't. We've already gone over it. We
What?
see we see the death toll. There was no ethnic cleansing of Serbs. It wasn't happening. It's not. The KLA engaging in sporadic terrorist violence is not the same as the state trying to displace millions of people, which is what you actually did. Stop with the whining. You are not the victims here. The only thing you're victims of here is the fact that the Soviet Union fell apart. Tito couldn't keep shit together for long enough to prevent it from falling to Western hegemony, and Serbia is incapable of getting its economy off the ground because you fuckers can't work with the EU because you're too busy reminding everyone how you hate the fucking Albanians for shit that happened 800 years ago, okay? Nobody cares. It's not about the demographics of Kosovo. It's about what's happening right now, today. Everything you're doing, all of this whinging you're engaging in right now, is nothing more than a pretext for your real argument, which is that your security forces should have been allowed to kill and rape and displace as many Albanians as you wanted back 2 decades ago. That's what you're actually saying. Like, at the end of the day, like, if you take away all the obfuscating bullshit, all of this, like, well, actually, it was to destroy socialism, all I care about is stopping the ethnic cleansing. And it's very clear where your priorities lie, because underneath all your principled legalese arguments against NATO intervention, what you really have is a deep-seated ethnic hatred for the Albanians.
Why are you saying purposely that there was not ethnic cleansing of the Serbs by KLA? We can find many reports on that. So you are saying that I am, please, that I'm ignoring
No. We'll do it back and forth now. When was there ethnic cleansing by the KLA?
Before the war. Before the intervention.
What, like 90s, 80s? Like what, like broadly?
You can, but it's not just 90s. You understand that this is the KLA uses the same ideology from the fascist government of the Albania during the World War II. What is their main ideology? Big Albania project. They don't want Kosovo independent. You thinking that these people want Kosovo independent?
No, stop. You're doing it again. No, stop. You're soapboxing again. I just said like 90s or 80s, like that time period, right?
But KLA uses the ideology from the World War II.
Okay, wait, no. So the 90s and 80s, that's when you're saying they committed an ethnic cleansing against the Serbians, right?
Yes.
Okay, they did not. Nowhere here are their numbers. No one here are their numbers indicating they committed an ethnic cleansing. Only 2,500 non-Albanian civilians have deaths attributed to them, and we don't even have numbers on who did all of them. You guys displaced millions! This is not comparable. Stop! You're making yourself look weak. Glorious Serbia is being made look weak because you're comparing these pithy KLA atrocities to the glorious might of the Serbian militia forces.
The Serbs kill a few families at the beginning before the war.
Kill a few families at the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
Do you understand how dishonest and partisan you are?
This is before the war. I specifically timeline.
Not before the war. Before the bombing. My bad. No. Stop. Listen, this is a desperate effort on your part to equivocate when you are the oppressor here. I don't know if you understand. Over half the population of Kosovo was displaced from their territory. You are not big enough dogs to engage in this kind of delusional denial. Russia does stuff like this, and they're not strong enough to get away with it. I'm an American. You want nationalism? I can lie about whatever I want, but I don't have to, because in addition to being part of the strongest country in the world, I'm also right on this one. I haven't misrepresented anything in this conversation. Nothing is more pathetic than nationalism from countries that are hamstringing themselves in the global market because they can't put aside how much they hate ethnic groups that would constitute 0.25% of the population of the United States if every single one of them was to emigrate here. It's pathetic. You're not strong enough to be this proud. You realize this, right? Your people, the Serbian people, are starving. They are impoverished because they lock themselves out of market because they're still seething over the fact that Albanian Kosovars got independence. And for what? Like, what are you gaining through this? Like, what? Holding on to this, like you're, like, how old are you? You're not older than I am. I know that. You were probably barely even alive back when the KLA was still active. So what? Did your parents tell you this? Where did it come from? What incentivizes you to engage in this pithy, myopic nationalism when all it does is cripple you in your country?
Those kind of agreements said that both sides will not stop each other. Sorry, will not. The Serbian side will not make sure that the other countries are trying to like revoke the recognition, and that the Kosovo will not try to join any other.
Let them go. Let them go.
But the thing is, they
Let
break
them
the
go.
agreement. To talk about
Let
EU,
them
this is
go.
an EU agreement.
Let them
this
go.
Is an EU agreement.
Let them go. Let them go. They just want to live. Let the Albanians in Kosovo go.
After they ethnically
Let
cleansed
them
all
go.
the Serbs
After they a decade ago, I don't care. Nobody cares. Oh my God. You're like,
Serbs care.
no, I know Serbs care because you people are fucking
Russians
insane.
care.
Russian,
No, we're
because
not.
you're baby Russians. Of course Russians care.
But why does the majority of the world agrees with us? Do you understand that the majority of the world...
The majority of the
does
world,
not...
buddy, Serbia. You think Serbia is the towering pillar of international respect and recognition? Are you fucking kidding
Well,
me?
the United States of America is definitely not. We can tell them
The United States rules the world. You are delusional.
And supports terrorist organizations.
No shit, we do. We do whatever the fuck we want. You are not strong enough to be this proud.
This is pure imperialism and the nationalism. You're literally...
You are justifying an ethnic cleansing to me. You're really crying that I'm part of the global hegemon because your little play genocide didn't get to complete, you know? You're like children fighting with each other, and when the adults step in to break you up, you get mad. Well, you guys get to do what you want. Yeah, we do. You don't. And the thing you were trying to do was bad. You were trying, it's not even like you were trying to build socialism. You were trying to kill Albanians. You were like, this is one of the few instances where our imperialism was good. You gave us a good pretext.
No,
yes,
it's really not.
Over a million displaced, over a million displaced, tens of thousands killed. You have nothing but justifications. Do you wish you could have been there raping and killing Albanians in their villages in the Kosovo province? Do you see that you get to live in Cucks, Serbia, where you guys don't get to, I don't know what, drag Albanians to your local lynchings every Sunday? What? Where? How are you being affected?
You're really delusional, but it's fine. I don't want to go into the personal argument.
How old are you?
I'm interested in.
How old are you?
Again, you're going for the personal arguments. This has nothing to do. This has nothing to do.
How old are you?
Nothing.
No, it does have something to do because your balls haven't dropped, and you're trying to like replace your sense of personal accomplishment with national pride. I've seen this.
Okay.
I've seen this before. I know American nationalists. I know what nationalism does to people's brains.
You
have nothing
yourself.
You were born after this conflict ended, weren't you? Bill Clinton had already left office by the time you were born, and now you long for the days past, like those Deus Vult wannabe convert Catholics.
Affects me on daily basis. Do you know how?
I know you don't get your Sunday lynching anymore.
Majority of the world supports Serbia. That's one thing. Second thing is how it affects me.
Let's see, 26. So 22 out of 27 EU.
Ask me the
Wait,
question,
well, you said something wrong. I just want to correct you.
But you asked me the question.
So
please let me finish.
Hold on.
Can I finish?
22 EU member states recognize Kosovo.
What about Russia, China,
Why would
India?
I care about Russia?
Brazil?
Why would I care about Russia and China? God, these fake lefties, man. We know. Because you guys are miniature Russia, so you have to keep your pathetic secondary hegemony.
What about Romania?
Kosovo recognizes Kosovo, and Serbia doesn't. But you guys got your ass kicked by NATO, so you know it's kind of a situation you can't do much about.
We did not get our ass kicked by the NATO. That's the thing. The NATO, by the end of the war, signed a resolution where it says that Kosovo is a part of Serbia. How did we get our ass kicked by the NATO when the resolution that you signed by the end of the war, which marked the ending of the bombing?
Dude, I take it back. We should have bombed you guys for way the fuck longer. We should have nuked you guys. Holy shit! We didn't get our ass kicked by NATO. We could liquidate your country. Are you fucking kidding me? It took one bombing run for you guys to surrender. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, you don't care about the international law, but at the same time, you use international law for the Ukraine.
Well, it was against international law to do an ethnic cleansing in Kosovo.
That's called double standard. That's called hypocrisy.
But okay, we're gonna put that aside. Hey, you know, as a lefty, I don't support all laws. Have you ever considered that?
You're definitely not a lefty. You're
right. I don't subscribe to anti-Albanianist, ethnic cleansingist thought.
You are definitely not a lefty.
Marxism with mass grave characteristics.
With the nationalists and the superiority rhetoric that you're putting on live right now.
Okay, how does it affect you? How does it affect you? Come on.
Disputed area means that there's a higher risk of the conflict, and by having a higher risk of the conflict, there's obviously going to be small amounts of investors who are going to engage in it.
Then just accept that it's independent. Then it's fine. If it's not disputed between you two.
But the international law says it's a part of our
Nobody
country.
cares.
But
it doesn't. It's not. Wait. Hold on. Just so you know. Recognizing the independence of a nation isn't breaking international law. You're misusing that a lot, okay?
Exactly what it is.
No, that resolution only indicated what it was at the time. Recognizing a country as independent doesn't like.
Talks about
you don't. You do not. You do not have to forever thereon recognize a country as only what it's been declared to be at that time.
Until the two sides agree on the other stuff. Did the two sides agree on other stuff? I don't think they did.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. It looks like we've recognized a different set of attributes associated with Kosovo.
So what you're saying is that you basically broke international law.
Why are you such a bitch about this, dude? Nobody gives a shit.
International law. You are veto member. You're supposed to
be
promoting it.
Cares. People use international law to defend Israel. People use international law to defend. Listen. Through international law, you can defend a lot of U.S. imperialism. I'm not making an argument through international law. I just want you to really personally rape fewer Albanians. That's it. If international law stands between me, I know you want to do that. If international law stands in between me and keeping you from raping Albanians, then international law can go bin it. I do not personally care.
There is a huge minority in Serbia that is getting prosecuted as we're speaking.
What minority?
Would you gonna ignore that? Minority in Kosovo of the Serbs. Sorry.
How many? What minority?
150,000 people approximately.
Okay.
It would be much more, but you know. So let's talk about.
That's crazy. I wonder if the Serbs did anything recently that might have made the people in Kosovo dislike them. We might never know.
Absolutely not. We did not do anything. We tried to engage in a very peaceful.
Dude, come on! This is like a joke. Very peaceful. Come on.
Yeah.
Nah, okay, wait. I can play along for a bit, but you're so just so you know, ideologically, you're indistinguishable from a Holocaust denier. You just have a different national axe to grind.
But you deny
instead of the Jews,
it's
the infinite cabal of the Albanians looking to displace Serbs. Instead of the great replacement of white people, it's the great replacement of Serbs. Instead of the Holocaust not happening, actually, it's like NATO lied about everything and all these facts that say that we were doing ethnic cleansing.
You're accusing me of being a Nazi. But what you're doing is accusing me of being a Nazi.
No. I'm saying, wait, hold on. No, I'm not calling you a Nazi, okay? The difference is they actually came closer to winning their war. All right, goodbye. And also make sure to sub to the channel, okay? This is the main channel, the Vaush pit, and I don't know, some of the clip channels. Get over there too. Now, make sure to hit the like button, share this with just about everyone you've ever known.
This is not true.